Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you enjoy this content. For all of my returning subscribers, welcome. Thank you so much for your lovely, kind, warm, welcoming messages. And I just want to say thank you. Your messages have meant so much to me. It definitely has uplifted me after everything I went through over the last 18 months, which was the reason why, as you know, if you watched my first video, I couldn't be on YouTube for that period of time. So welcome, warm hugs and love and blessing and light is being sent your way right now. So let's get into this video. So the latest news on Meghan is that she's actually currently buying followers. Now we all know that Meghan Markle pretty much has had diabolical, terrible reviews. The Guardian has literally given With Love Meghan 1 out of 10 stars, I believe, reviews for the show. There has been so many polls done across many British publications that have come up with voters basically saying they would never, if it was the last thing to do on earth, watch Meghan Markle's series again. So of course she's kind of got popped up on social media, on Instagram, and said, woohoo, look at me, ooh, let us remain calm, using a stolen slogan that she found on the internet somewhere, claiming that her show was so good, it had so many rave reviews and everybody loved it and it's fantastic. She's now been granted a second series for the show. Now it was all pre-recorded, so everything that we're seeing now was pre-recorded way before the LA fires. She has to give Netflix their pound of flesh, because the truth of the matter is that she owes them content. She hasn't done anything for 5 years. She took $100 million back in 2020, and now she has to cough up the work, so to speak. We know that she's been extremely lazy, running around with Handbag Harry, this Sparry, and she hasn't been doing jack diddly shit squat, to be honest with you. So let me get into this little comment that I found on Twitter X. So someone has posted, how did Meghan Markle overcome no one liking her or not having friends at school? She became the president of clubs and societies, so she didn't have to sit alone at lunchtime. So there you have it. She's just not a likable person. This is nothing new. Her squad are probably social outcasts and so obsessed with the idea of having black royalty in the US, they're prepared to overlook her character flaws. She's now in the same position she was in as a child, still the president/duchess, in a higher position to all her peers, plus she has a man who adores her like her father did, funding her lifestyle. As for Harry, he's back to being the spare. Hashtag with love, Meghan. The reason why I wanted to read that out is because I get a hell of a lot of flack. I mean, my personal life has been invaded because the Sussex squad believe that someone like myself should just support her because she's black. I'm never going to do that. I'm not going to support someone just because they are, well, should I say, claiming to stand on the black. I will support someone because I genuinely like what they do in the media, and I find value in what they do. I get no value from Meghan, and I actually think she's quite a disgraceful, shameless, disgusting, nasty, spiteful person. I'm never going to support someone no matter what they look like, even if they're darker than me, the same skin tone as me, I don't care, from the same town as me. I'm not going to support you if you're a nasty person. I would never support someone who would cut off their father who is sick. It could be his last day. We don't know. He's old, right? It could be his last day tomorrow. She hasn't checked on him. He had a whole heart attack. She didn't call him. She's discarded him like the true narcissist that she is. And how can I really support that? Race should not get into this. You're either a nice person or you're not. Meghan Markle is not a nice person. And so her kind of pulling the black card is not going to fly by me. So I just wanted to put that out there. And what I wanted to say is it's leading to a stronger point, which is that Meghan has now paid a journalist to tell every single media outlet that she's one of the nicest people that she's ever met, and this was her great, fabulous, fantastic experience with her. And it's quite sad, really, because the truth of the matter is that everyone saw the way she treated Mindy Kaling, and that's not the first lady that she's done this to. Everyone also saw the way she acted on the royal tour in Fiji, the way she treated the people, how dismissive she was, how she reduced her female royal aide to tears, who subsequently 3 months later resigned because of the way she was being treated and bullied and pretty much abused by Meghan Markle, our quote unquote black princess, who, well, people like me, I should be grateful for, which I'm not. She's actually, I find it quite insulting when people say you should support her because she's claiming to be black or standing on the black. I think that is an insult to my personal intelligence. I have intellect and I have brain cells and I'm going to use them. Thank you very much. So we've seen this on more than one occasion. Back to Fiji, when she was in Fiji, she was meant to make a public appearance for 15 minutes. She only done 6, claiming, crowd control issues. She was very dismissive and rude to all of the people who had been standing there for hours, the general public, to meet her. She didn't engage with them. She didn't smile at them. She didn't talk to them. They was doing everything to try and get some kind of interaction and a memorable moment, which we know that lovely Princess Diana would have given them, as she truly was the queen of people's hearts. They got nothing. She was very dismissive. We've seen Mindy Kaling. She even done it to Drew Barrymore, which was quite interesting. Now, I've been reading a few of the reports that apparently, allegedly, Drew Barrymore is a bit overbearing and a bit annoying. She can be, at least. And Meghan kind of stood away from her and she was very cold and dismissive towards her. And she also went on the show and told a lot of porkies and lies. But let me quickly get into this article regarding this puff piece that Meghan has paid for. So Bryony Gordon, a journalist, struck up a friendship with Meghan Markle during her time here in the UK, and she's revealed that the Duchess's unexpected gesture after they enjoyed lunch together was something that revealed that she was a lovely person. I mean, this is complete jibe, gibberish, rubbish. It's just a spiel to try and save her ailing Netflix contract, which is swiftly coming to an end, especially after the second series drops, because no one's going to watch this one because we know what to expect and it's going to be a load of junk. So shortly after marrying Harry, Meghan is said to have invited Bryony to lunch and also accompanied her on several charity visits, and she has now opened up about Meghan's surprise move after they met up and what it really says about her character. She says, I was delighted by the politeness of this gesture. So she talks about meeting her. Meghan sent her a handwritten note saying how nice it had been to have lunch together a few weeks before. And Bryony says, I was delighted by the politeness of this gesture. How often do you receive such a note in this digital age and time? Not to mention, stunned by the neatness of her penmanship, which put my own to shame. Anyway, whenever anyone asks what Meghan is really like, and such is the fascination with the 43-year-old, 47-year-old. We know that Meghan's lying about her age. I mean, she's lied about everything else. I do not believe that her age is her age, and I'm going to stick by that. So allegedly, she's 47. 43-year-old and her husband. This happens quite often. I always say, well, she's the kind of person who writes you a handwritten note after taking you out for lunch. This actually is making Meghan look more ridiculous than she already looks. We already had to suffer through that first episode where she starts whipping up bath salts and writing notes and talking about how important it is for her guests to have bath salts and some puffed up popcorn, which looked unappetizing, by the way, in the first episode of With Love, Meghan, and her cheese puffs, which were store-bought or whatever they was. And now this lady saying, oh, she writes handwritten notes and that proves how nice she is. No, you're a person of power and influence here with the ability to pull strings in the journalistic industry. That's why you got a handwritten note. And it's not because you're really special or she's really nice. So the puff piece continues on to say, in recent years, Bryony also visited the Sussex's mansion in Montecito to interview Harry ahead of the release of his memoir Spare. And she also revealed that on leaving their home, Meghan gave her a jar of her homemade jam, which she accidentally left in the back of a taxi. So it was so unappetizing. And so, what can I say? It wasn't very memorable, was it? Because you left it in the back of a taxi. I mean, look at her here. She's met some quote unquote lovely royalty, the first black princess that we've had in a billion years, and she gets invited to her fancy Montecito mansion and she just conveniently forgets the jam in the back of the taxi. And coming back to the jam, according to Meghan, it is not jam, it is a preserve because it doesn't have 50% sugar and 50% fruit, so it's a preserve. And Drew Barrymore actually gives a lot away here, and she basically reveals what we was all thinking, that the jam tastes like absolute horse shite, to say the least. She basically says that's why it tastes so different. And Meghan's like, yeah, do not call it jam. It's not jam because it's not 50% sugar and 50% fruit. And Drew's like, right, that's why it tastes so, she's trying to use the words of, it tastes like crap. It's not good. But anyway, let me get back to this. So she left the jam in the back of the taxi. It comes as Meghan has posted her latest video to Instagram, which features the adorable appearance of Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. In a new clip, the Duchess of Sussex offers a glimpse of the two youngsters. So, because she's had such abysmal reviews, she's now literally merching the kids against Harry's will. And there's more on that, which I'll probably put in a separate video. But basically, the truth of the matter is that Harry feels like he's drowning in this marriage because she's literally trying to merch the kids as we speak. In fact, she is merching them. It's everything against what he wanted. He didn't want the media in invading his life or his privacy. He left the royal firm because he didn't want to be on quote a Truman Show. And here we have Meghan in the background now merching the kids because she can't get good reviews, and she's gone into sabotage kind of media damage overdrive, save the day. Oh, I've got to sell something, I'm gonna merch my kids because I can't think of any other way to get people to watch series 2 because the reviews have been abysmal, the ratings haven't been as high as what Netflix paid me for, and so I've got to roll out my kids, just wheel them out from the cupboard. And another thing which was quite telling about Meghan Markle's relationship with her children was that when she was on the Drew Barrymore show, she talked about how she likes to make little videos and read stories via video and just kind of send it to whoever the kids are with at any given point because she's so busy with her schedule. This woman has been unemployed for 5 years. Well, I don't understand why she's not with the kids. You got a kid that's 3, you got a kid that's 5. Where is she? Why doesn't she even know who is looking after these kids? Are these kids even tangible kids? There's been so many speculations and rumors flying around on the internet that they don't even have any real kids. And now I'm thinking to myself, what is this woman so consumed with that she's in meetings and she's literally sending videos to her children who are under the age of 10? And she's been unemployed for 5 years. Why doesn't she have the time to sit there and actually read it to her kids in person? Why doesn't she have the time to just say mummy loves you or give them that hug or that kiss? Like, that was just so weird, and it really was quite telling. And she actually tried to recover from what she said by quickly saying, if they're with their papa. And I thought to myself, the first thing I thought was, there's something quite wrong there. And B, I thought separation. That for me personally, I felt as though her and Harry have separated, because why did she say with whoever they're with? Like, does she have a designated nanny? Is it that they're now having this separate lifestyle and this marriage is just a functional marriage? I also want to insert here the really strange, terrible image of Meghan, which she recently posted on her Instagram yesterday, looking like a complete and utter crazy, demented witch. I mean, that's the only way I can describe it. And then when you zoom into her feet, it's kind of like, I don't know, she just didn't look good. And she's as white as a sheet. Now, remember when she was doing this whole I'm a black and I'm a victim of racism, how deep her tan was? In old images before Meghan joined the royal firm, her ankles were as white as a sheet, right? So she's very pale, and I'm not holding that against her. But when she was doing the whole race baiting thing, she was coming out with these really dark, deep tans and, like, putting on brown every 5 minutes. I mean, she's still doing the whole brown thing and being the whole I'm black and the royal family hate me because I'm black and blah blah. Now she doesn't have to do that anymore. Racism is not her angle anymore. She never got anything out of it, and she never got away with it. She's as pale as a sheet, and I don't understand why the Sussex squad support her, because she's clearly Machiavellian and she's a chameleon. She'll be whatever colour you want her to be as long as it comes with a check. She just wants to check, and she just wanted to blog, and she just wanted to do normal things, and she just wanted to run around with Hollywood people like the Clooneys and Oprah and Drew Barrymore and Halle Berry, who probably won't pick up the phone to her. But she didn't want to serve the public, but she wants that title because that's her only claim to fame. She's nothing without it, but she doesn't want to work for it. So strange. So back to this article, it basically starts banging on about how sweet it is. Meghan Merchant, little Archie here, and little Lily on her Instagram. And so this article has received scathing backlash from other media outlets, and this article, written by Karen Rocket for The Mirror, is titled, "I went to lunch with Meghan Markle and this is one thing no one wants to hear." So the ruse is up for Meghan. The truth of the matter is she's not going to be able to get away with this. She's not going to be able to save her ratings by paying for puff pieces from journalists who she's clearly bought off years ago. She couldn't buy Piers Morgan. That's why she had to cut him off. She couldn't buy off Lizzie Cundy. That's why she had to cut them off. She knew that they would remain neutral at all times. Bryony really should have some etiquette and she should remain ethical. This is unethical journalism. Do not be bought in or drawn into this spiel from the Sussexes because it really is a load of junk. So Karen goes on to say, amid a storm of criticism, Meghan has found an unexpected ally who claims she knows what the difficult Duchess is really like and loves her new show too. Meghan has received much needed good publicity boost from an author friend following some damning reviews of her latest cooking show. But British critics have been quick to knock her. The Guardian described the programme as, and so pointless it might be the Sussexes' last TV show, with a 1-star review. The Telegraph gave it 2 stars, branding the show as insane and an exercise in narcissism. Even Hollywood's Bible Variety branded it a Montecito ego trip not worth taking. However, a British journalist, author and podcaster who knows Meghan has leapt to the show's defense and said it's fantastic, and they've inserted this lovely image of Bryony here, which I'm going to put in the video. So she said, I was delighted by the polite gesture. She left me a note. Her handwriting is fantastic. Watch the next series. That's basically what she's telling us to do. If I can help it, I will not watch the next series because I've seen the first one. I mean, when you see a woman literally put a couple of herbs or flower petals in a tea bag and put it in some water and place it in the sun, that was it. After flaunting her title that she didn't even want to work for. She just wants to use it. She just wants to match it.